So welcome to December. December is a busy month for everyone. So there's some things that we should really be doing this time of year, and there's some things that are just nice to do. Some of the things that we really look at doing here at the nursery, whether it be our bare root fruit trees or the fruit trees that are in the ground, is pruning. Pruning is a big part about fruit production. It's a big part about plant's health, building that structure of that plant as we go throughout the years of owning our fruit trees. Just so you know, if you are curious about how to prune, we do have pruning classes coming up. But as we do look at pruning, one thing I recommend is getting one really good source. Maybe find that one really good book that pertains to Southern California pruning. Maybe not pruning for Northern California or the East Coast. Find something that's really meant for Southern California. The other thing is to have a really good set of shears. Pruning shears are a big help when it comes down to pruning. So make sure they're comfortable, they're not heavy, they're easy to sharpen. So as you are looking to go ahead and sharpen your tools, keep an eye on a sanding stone or a file. These are coming really handy and they fit pretty well in your pockets. So in December, one thing that we're keeping an eye on with our fruit trees is dormancy spraying. This could also be for roses or maybe even some things you have going on in the garden. So what I like to use for dormancy spraying, one is horticultural oil. This is what's used to get rid of a lot of bugs that are hibernating on the trunks of your trees or on the soil around your plants. The other one I like to use is liquid cop. Liquid cop is a fungicide. So this is what's going to help with powdery mildew, peach leaf curl. We've all had problems this year with peach leaf curl. So if you feel like you're on your own, there's a whole community that has peach leaf curl. Fire blight, all those types of things that we're finding in the summertime, we try to prevent in the winter with these two types of sprays. When you're spraying, we try to hit 3 times in the year. So we try to spray in early winter, in the middle of winter, and before springtime hits when those plants start opening up. If those buds open up, it's too late to do any spraying. So try to shoot for those 3 times. Also in December, we're starting to look at what to plant in the garden. It is a cold time of the year. There's not a lot of daylight. So things I like to plant, one of which is dwarf sugar pod snap peas. These are peas you eat right off the plant. Another one is Napa or Chinese cabbage. A very unique thing. We don't see it in a lot of grocery stores. It can be used in many different ways. And one thing to add a lot of color to your garden, because a lot of times it's big leafy greens, they're all the same color, is a really cool garden gourmet blend of chicory. Doesn't take a lot of chicory to go in, but these come in so many different colors. There's reds, purples, yellows. It'll just brighten these kind of darker days. As we start looking at planting seeds, we might not want to go outside, but we are starting to look at container growing. That's where I like to use these coconut pots. One, I like to use them because it's not using plastic. 2, when we go ahead and replant these outside, we can compost our pots. And 3, these things breathe. So if we are leaving them outside, we're getting rains, these are gonna make sure that that soil breathes and our seeds don't go ahead and start rotting. So if you are gonna be planting out in the garden, direct sowing or taking the small starts out in the garden, what we're looking forward to December is using little greenhouses. When I was a kid, I thought these were hats. I'm not gonna put it on because I've done that many times, but these are not little hats. And I think it's really cool as people come in the nursery, they see these and they're like, is that a hat? What are these for? These are actually miniature greenhouses. This style has been around for many, many years. It's a cover to go over your small plants or your seeds. It's gonna trap the heat. It is very light. So what we're worried about is those winds kind of taking it off and having it fly. But that's what this little ring is for. It's not a brim of a hat. What these are for is to put soil inside these to help hold it down. So it's a little bit of a weight. What's cool with these, it allows in the sunlight. It'll trap that heat. When you're all set, you can pull them. I've had them for quite a while. They're waterproof. They're pretty cheap, and you can reuse them quite often. So these are some tips and tricks for December. We'd love to hear what you have going on in your yards, what you're planning for. So please definitely let us know. We love some good stories. Personally, myself in December, I do not have a lot of time. But this is why I like planting in December, because the weather's cool, we're gonna get some rains. It's kind of like the lazy time to garden. So sometimes I just kind of sit back. I might fiddle in my garden here or there, might throw down some fertilizer, might have to water here or there. But now it's just kind of a time to enjoy family, show off your gardens, because gardening is there to bring people together. I hope you guys have a great December.